hair.
Unclean. Unclean. Ah, you've probably guessed what this is about now.
We're unclean.
We're unclean. We are the dirty masses.
We are.
So
We are a statistic.
a statistic. It started out. Thank you, Fox. That's it loud.
Go away.
I'll play for you later. Promise. So it started out with. Was it you or me?
Me.
Was it you?
I had a
can't
dodgy
remember.
tummy. And then that went away.
Right.
That was fine.
Okay, so it started out with.
That was last
In
week.
case you don't know, go on.
Well, so I've got COVID, essentially. That's fine. So I had a dodgy tummy.
Well, we both have.
We had dodgy tummies.
We both got it.
Couldn't, for the life of us, think why. Couldn't think of anything that we'd eaten that might have caused it or anything. Just thought it was one of those things. And then Willow was off school last week because somebody in her bubble had a positive test. She went back to school on Monday. That was fine. And then I had an email, didn't I, just after lunchtime to say, can you come and collect reception children because
somebody in Fox's
class had a positive test, one of the kids who he'd been playing with all last week. And then Saturday, so that was yesterday, but Saturday previous to that, I'd not been able to taste anything. And assumed that I just had a cold because my nose was a bit bunged up, and I thought, well, I can't taste anything because my nose is bunged up. I've got a bit of a cough because my nose is dripping.
Couldn't smell anything
because my nose is bunged up because I've got a cold. And then yesterday, when Fox came home, I just thought, yeah, this cough is a little bit persistent. So I thought, well, I'll just get a test. You weren't overly impressed, were you, that I went for a test? But I went for a test, which was...
No, I wasn't overly impressed that she wanted me to go for a test. You can be a human pincushion for all I care.
I mean, some
just
of you
don't
might
ask me to
know
be.
that having the back of your throat swabbed is unpleasant.
Yes, I can imagine.
And having the back of your nose swabbed is equally... not equally unpleasant, less unpleasant, more tolerable than having the back of your throat swabbed. Oh, for God's sake.
But it's not as bad as...
Pause this and come back to it in a minute.
I'll pause it. Right, sorry, we're back now.
Well, I'm still working. Work phone call.
Trooper.
Yeah, so I went for a test yesterday, and then I just assumed that it was going to be negative. And then they text me about 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning to say your test is positive. Lovely.
And we both got exactly the same symptoms, and the only difference is I think that my breathing has been more not anything dramatic, but it's just been slightly more laboured. And like I was doing something the other day and I had to walk away and leave it purely and simply because I got out of breath. Now, I know I'm overweight and that doesn't help, but even more so than that, taking that into consideration, it was even worse than what it generally is. So it wasn't just an overweight out of breath. This was not struggling, but finding it hard to...
Because when you took your mask off to get more air in, all you're doing is just breathing it all over everybody who was in the vicinity.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I didn't know I had it. I didn't have really any symptoms until I was short of breath, and I didn't know I would be short of breath until I had the mask on walking around. I thought maybe it was just the mask.
That is true.
But it clearly wasn't just the mask, and subsequently I've been out of breath. I mean, yesterday I went to empty the dishwasher, and I said to Hazel I had to leave it halfway through. I had to leave it because I had to sit down. Half a job down. Because I couldn't get the oxygen in. It's not. I mean, it sounds a lot worse than it is. It's not that bad.
It's all right.
But I think the main thing now we're not playing it down or saying it's not a bad illness. Of
and
course
obviously,
it is.
some people, including friends of ours, that their relatives have passed away from
or they've suffered with it badly. But what I'm trying to say is that I think that people need to remember that overall, the symptoms that most people experience are probably nowhere near as bad as what you see.
Some other people.
It's unfortunate, isn't it, that the news...
You hear all the horror stories, don't you, and people in hospital.
Well, it's unfortunate that mainstream media are just pushing this agenda, whatever it is, and all they're trying to do is concentrate and make everybody concentrate on how negative it is and how dangerous it is. And I'm not saying that it's not, but what I'm saying is they're not giving you an even overview.
But then from their point of view, people sitting in their kitchen going, I feel like I've got the tail end of a cold. That's not really a newsworthy story, is it?
Yeah, it's
really,
not.
it's
But it's not. But they're not. There's no equilibrium there. They're not balancing it. It's not balanced. They're just
That's
saying
what your channel is
this is. Well, yeah, not really. I'm hardly bloody whoever. I'm hardly a major news channel.
Really
but
annoying.
yeah, it's that. I mean, it's. I can't smell, can't taste anything.
No.
It's good if you want to go on a diet because
I'm gonna make some soup for
no
lunch.
point eating anything. And I mean, you can't. I had particularly potent, and I know they're potent because I've had them before. Bag of cheese and onion crisps.
You should eat those spicy noodles that are up there.
But I don't know if the spice would still count.
I could feel the heat from the curry that we had last night, but I couldn't taste it. It was.
I
knew it was spicy.
I didn't feel it. What, you had a different curry to me
No,
then?
we had the same one from the same place.
Well, I couldn't. Nothing.
We're Chinese.
Absolutely nothing.
It's not.
Nothing. I didn't get anything. You see, it's not the only thing we've got in China, is it?
Well, we thought we'd in time.
But yeah, no, I didn't. I couldn't taste it or smell it or anything. And it was, look at me. I'm like a pig. I have my head in the trough, so I'm right in there with the food. And,
But we're all right, aren't we? We've got friends helping us out.
Yeah, I think what we're trying to say is that
it's a bit of shopping to last us till Friday. We've got a shopping delivery coming Friday morning.
I did try and push it for a Fortnum and Mason's hamper, but nobody was buying that.
No one's going for that.
But
Someone's going to walk the dogs for us at the weekend.
I feel this COVID may go on for a lot longer than is anticipated.
It will be 10 days and then we'll be back out again.
They'll be saying in 2008, I'm sure he should have got over that by now. He hasn't been out
shopping for him.
It's all virtual reality and crisps with him.
But can you imagine though? We don't for that long. The kids have been for that long. So
Yeah, that's the worst thing about it. We got them at home
We
for 10
can't
days.
even be ill in peace.
And let's be honest, they're probably the lurgy-infested individuals that we've got it
I
from.
hope they don't get it. They
Well,
probably
I mean,
will.
kids don't generally suffer with it as bad. I mean, obviously, there's the situation where the odd one might develop quite badly or what have you, but nobody really knows, do they?
No.
Nobody knows.
And whatever
But
antibodies I'm producing, Fox will still have anyway.
what I do know is I felt a bit crappy, really.
Yeah, so
Not-
it is. It feels like the end of a cold.
Yeah, I just felt crappy. It was like I don't know. Normally, when I get a cold, and this is the one major difference for me, and Hazel will tell you, when I get a cold, because you say,
Such a wuss.
but you say it goes straight to your
It
chest.
does.
And I've got a
chest.
really manly. I have.
Your little weak as a kitten chest.
Yes, I'm delicate. I'm a delicate little flower and petal. But I have quite a weak chest when it comes to colds. So if I get a cold, 9 times out, and I'm not even exaggerating, I have to go to the doctors and get some sort of antibiotic to clear it up. And I suffer really badly, and it takes literally weeks for me to clear a cold. I think more and more.
It does. You're sitting there on the sofa.
I think
feeling
more and more,
fine. Oh, I'm so ill.
but
Can
I
you
think
just
more and
make
more
me some
people are like that now. Probably, I don't know why, but more and more
Men,
people.
more men
that
are
now.
like
Well,
it.
maybe I don't
Women
know.
aren't like that.
You can't assume someone's sexual gender. You can't say all men. What if some of them men identify as?
If they identified as
Soup
women,
bowls
then they would just
for
carry
women.
on as normal and not be such a wimp about it.
Anyway, you broke my train of thought now. What was I saying?
You were talking about your poor fragile chest.
Yeah, but anyway, that's the thing. And with this, nothing is. I mean, I know my breathing's been a tiny bit like laboured. I don't like using the word laboured because it's not been laboured. It's just been,
It's been a bit of
harder
an
to get
effort.
oxygen. Bit of an effort.
It's a little bit of an
A
effort.
little bit more of an effort than it should be.
I went for a run on Sunday. I was alright. Even though I walked lots.
Yeah, that's true.
Alright. Breathed it over everybody I went past. Yeah, be alright.
But what was I saying? Yeah, so she just rude.
You do that, I'll do the soup.
Right, okay,
But we
so
won't go to taste.
what's the point? Make that soup, flush it, no point. Cut out the middle, man.
Leftover chicken.
So, yeah, so normally it sits on my chest, but this time, no, not really. Oh, somebody else apparently now is isolating at school.
Wait a minute. I've got you carry on, it's taking ages.
We're not trying to make frivolity of it, because obviously we know that some people do suffer badly with it, and some people do end up, unfortunately, in hospital with it, and even worse. So we get that, but as bad as it is, I think you've got to try and be light-hearted with it. I think that's the way of taking the fear out of things, isn't it? But it's also a fact that we haven't really got it that bad, thank God. So, yeah, I don't know. But that's it, really. Just wanted to let you know that, you know, we've got it, but no, listen to them kids, nowhere near as bad as, or more in line with what most people have got. What now? What now?
Due to another positive COVID case in our reception class, we're having to extend the isolation period to the 4th of February, so the children can go back into school on the 5th. Happy freaking birthday.
Yeah, Hazel's birthday's on the 3rd of February, and I arranged, because I thought the kids would be at school, I arranged like a little private tea delivered and all sorts of bits and bobs. Nothing romantic, I don't do romantic, I just thought it'd be nice for her. And yeah, seems we've got to share it with them now. The Locusts. Happy New Year. Right. Right, so anyway, take care and I'll speak to you soon. Do you want to say goodbye, Hazel?
Alright, I'm just checking that this isn't Fox. Because he hasn't had a positive test.
He hasn't had a positive test.
Bye.
Over here.
Bye.
Bye.